everybody, welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. So, if you have seen the video and read the blog about the mindfulness triangle, this is also something that is going to resonate with you. The mindfulness triangle is the how, and the rich quadrant is the what, right? So rich quadrant is how your life can be from the sad, depressed, from this life to the reinvented version, the happy version, the joyful version, right? So this is what is all about the rich quadrant. So in this video, we are going to dive deep into that. And the how is from here, from the sad zone, how you can get to this rich quadrant, the absolute peak part of your life, right? How it is joyful, peaceful, no matter what life throws at you, you can get there. And here you are in this lowest frequency zone, and when you are in the reinvented version, you are in the highest frequency zone. The part is not about that you are never going to fall back here. If somebody says that, that means they're lying. You will fall back, but the point is how quickly you can get back up here so that you are not wasting the time in your life being here too long, right? Oh my God, this plane is so big. I'm going to show it to you guys. Look at this. Do you see it? Oh my God. So hopefully you guys can hear me, but so this is the four quadrant. R is the relationship, I is the ideal life, C is the career and finance, and the last one is health. So if you have been coming here for a long time, you know that I used to talk about this last year a lot. This year I haven't made much videos, so I thought I'm going to share this here. And it is also on my website, the homepage. You're going to see I shared the picture of the rich quadrant and the mindfulness triangle. I'm going to link the description, link those in the description section so that you guys can look at more about it. And also, you know that most of the Wisdom Wednesday video, I also have a blog version on my website. So for this one also, I will have a blog and I will link it in the description, because some of this, especially this ones, the triangle and the quadrant, if you read the blog, then it will get even more clear than the videos. Okay. So without the further ado, the relationship part is, so how do you first define which part needs attention, right? So in life, the relationship, career, and health, they come and go. Even if you want, they show up. If you are a gym goer, you go to the gym and you know life is good from the physical health perspective, or you end up at the doctor's office. Then you find out you have a problem. But the second quadrant, I call it ideal life, and I'm going to explain that more. That is where it becomes really, really crucial. And I learned the hard way, and that is why I teach people now how to really fill up your cup. And I have a metaphor I call fill your bucket, because bucket is bigger. Why not, right? When we are saying that to fill our bucket, we are filling it more. So they say the meaning of life is giving. It is not giving. What I say is giving from a full cup, not giving from an empty cup. Because when you are giving from an empty cup, you are giving, as you give, you are building up resentment, you are building up bitterness in you, and later it shows up in other ways in your life. So the first one, in the relationship, so what you want to do is from 0 to 10, put a number in each quadrant. So relationship, just sum it up: your partner, ex-partner, new partner, your friends, your kids, your coworker, whatever relationship you would put as. Normally people think that it is only your partner, and if you do that, that's a codependent relationship, and that is when the other person will feel suffocated. And that is why you have to consider all this relationship. If you have 0 friends, that's a problem. You got to figure out a way to have friends. If you can't, join our meetup group, you'll find friends there. I'll have that link down below too. So put 0 to 10. Say if you are anywhere between 5 to 8. 8 means, it's great. You don't have to worry too much, because 10 out of 10 would be probably rarely. But if you are 8 and above, you are in a great shape. But anything under 5, you probably need to pay attention to that. So relationship, put a number, say you are at 7, right? So that's okay, not to worry too much. Ideal life. So this is the most interesting part that gets overlooked, and that is what creates a problem between relationship. A lot of people I know, even in married life, they're having this really difficult challenges that they're married but they're not happy. What I call it a step 2. I have another blog about it, but I'm not going to dive too much deeper on that in this one. The step 2 is where you are married but unhappy. For them, I say figure out a way to go to step 1. And step 1 is when people are happily married, and it doesn't have to be the honeymoon phase, because honeymoon phase happens in the beginning. After a year or two, things could get boring, but there are ways that both of you can get to that zone faster, and by talking to, I don't know, counselor or whichever way. um, Go back to step 1, and then you might get to step 2 sometime here and there, but then you can get back to step 1. That's how you can live a happier life. But if it is something that you have tried everything, you figured, both of you tried, and one person is not in the relationship, the other person wants to make it work, unfortunately marriage can be worked only by one person. Trust me, I know, because when our things fell apart, the last book I bought was How to Save Your Marriage Alone. I bought it from Amazon. You can look that up. There's a book called How to Save Your Marriage Alone. Tiny book. Um, but I wouldn't blame the person, because there was a time when I also wanted the marriage to end, but longer story. But the point is, when both of you are not there anymore in it, it is not going to work. At that point, step 3, and unfortunately step 3 is harder than step 2, because there's lots of loneliness and all of that. But if you can survive step 3, you get to step 4, which is authentic living, no fear, no external validations or anything you would look for, and that's the life I live now. But going to step 2 to step 3 is not easy. That takes a lot of work. Anyway, so these are the videos where I try to share a lot of those wisdom, and so many people have said this is helping, so that's why I try to share more and more. So the fun quadrant, for different people, it's different things, right? So for me, I call it ideal life, because in ideal life, I would want to go travel like once a month. If I can go to different countries every other month, and I don't know, every other week to a different close by a city or something. I don't know if it'll be too much, but I love to travel. I love to travel. Now, travel I do once a quarter now, because it is logistically and financially not possible to travel every month. But there are simpler ways to fill your bucket too. So you have to find out what are other ways you can fill your bucket. So for me, coffee shop, you can see the back is the back porch of a coffee shop. So I'm here, I'm filling my bucket. Sometime it is when I'm chit-chatting with my friends in a coffee shop, or go out to a restaurant, or sometime when I'm just by myself here. When I'm making this video, this is a bucket filler for me, trust me. And I'm gonna get to the career, and you will see how this connects. So making these videos, I come here, read book, drink my coffee, and research about these topics, because I'm fascinated about this. So I fill my bucket in many different ways, and also sometimes exercising, going out for a walk. So these are like how I fill my bucket. So when I put a number to my fun quadrant, which is the ideal life, second quadrant, let's say if I couldn't go for a trip in like 4 months, and the numbers are gonna dip. So then it could be 3 or 4. So then I know, okay, I need a coffee shop trip, or I need an outing with my friends, or sometimes I do this bucket filler day with my daughter Alice. You guys have seen it. So bucket filler days doesn't have to be always with your friends or kid. You can fill your bucket by yourself. It can be a bucket filler day for you doing, if it's a spa is your thing. I have a friend who likes to go, for two friends actually, they like to go have a spa day. That's not my thing. But for you, if that is the thing, go. That is the thing, then go. If your bucket filler is going to the church, going to the temple, go do that. You don't need a grand thing to fill your bucket. And that's why I'm purposely making this video where the coffee shop is right behind, so that I want you guys to remember remind you that whatever this little things that is there in your life you can do, you can focus on that. A lot of time we as human beings, we have the tendency to focus on what we cannot do, right? We have the tendency to focus on what we cannot do, but there is always something we can do. Write those things down that fills your bucket, right? I literally wrote them down, and those are your go-to formula. Actually, those are the ones that will help you in the other three quadrant. So okay, so that's enough about the ideal life, simply like what your life ideally would look like. Now ideally, you would want to do like just this all the time, and maybe that's what I'm trying to manifest, that someday I will really do all of this all the time because I love to make these videos, and which I'm working on full time, making the video, writing books, and all the others. But it'll be awesome to have the opportunity to hire some people. So anyway, that's for later. So number three is the career and finance. For a lot of people, the job that they do, I meet so many people. They are like, they have a job, they earn good money, but they're unhappy. And trust me, I get that. I get that because I was in the corporate world for 21 years. And some jobs I liked, and some jobs I hated. I hate it. But what I do now, oh my God, if I could tell you guys, like I love it. I love it because it is not about the work. It is who I am becoming in the process. And it is all about your mind, body, soul getting connected. I heard it from people before, but until you feel it, my friends, you won't know what I'm talking about. It is literally, it might sound a little arrogant, but it is literally when you get to that level, when your mind, body, soul is filling each other, because that is when you will have the really, really great, amazing work life, because work won't feel like work anymore. It is like you are filling your bucket by doing that, right? So for me, it was, if I was in my 20s, I don't think I would have that much leverage to bootstrap my company, but now I have, because I had worked in the corporate world many years, and which is why I tell people that when you are in 40s, there's different advantages of doing it in 20s and 40s. Because if you are in your 20s, yes, you are energetic, you have more ideas, whatnot, lots of friends, but financially it's not as easy. Plus the experience that you gain from different corporate experience from jobs that you don't have in 20s. And so in my case, I had managed millions of dollars. I have increased profit margin. I have gone to the business to present and got the funding. And not only that, I also, not only that, I also managed, like, I got distracted. Little kid was walking. You guys probably saw in the video. So I also managed teams of hundreds of people, right? Sometime directly and sometime indirectly, even 200 or more people. So all of those experiences I could not have had when I was in my 20s. So all of those experiences, when you're in 40s, you are starting from experience. And then, literally age is just a number, as people say. I say age is just what you want to put at your in your mind, because I tell all my friends 40s is the new 20s, because for me, even though I'm in my 40s, and somebody said today I actually look younger than my age, which is a nice compliment. Anyway, so the point is, even in my 40s, now I use ChatGPT as like 20s. Like when I read the stuff, I was like, that's a good thing. So anyway, I won't get diverted too much. The point is, whatever career you are in, ask yourself, what are the things that fill your bucket? You don't necessarily have to do all the changes that I did, meaning you don't necessarily have to do a big shift from what you are doing. You can always find happiness in your career. Maybe whatever job you are doing, you have some work friends that you can connect for coffee, or maybe switch your department, or there's so many different ways you can find you can find that happiness at your work. And today's day, when AI is coming, a lot of people are afraid. Don't be fearful. Just think of today and keep going, because life, if we start worrying, then the worry never ends. So you have to make sure that whatever you are doing now, right now, you are happy with it. Don't think about 6 months down the line what will happen. I mean, of course, you have to think about your mortgage, your financial situation, but don't overthink it. That's the whole point. Don't overthink it. And why I kept the career, even though I talk about divorce, this channel is all about divorce recovery and all of that. Why I bring up the career and all the other parts, why I say it's a 4 quadrant. This is very important. So I want you guys to pay attention, because this is the biggest breakthrough I figured that they don't talk about in self-help enough, is that all these 4 areas are really, really connected, because it's the same person that is showing up at home with the friends, at work, you know, you're filling your bucket, your health situation. It's the same person that's showing up. Have you ever heard somebody saying that, I'm super happy at work, but I am terrible at home? Or the other way, I am really happy at home, but I am super unhappy at work. It doesn't happen, right? Because it's the same person showing up in all these places. And I say it was like, the olden days, these days people use swivel chair for work, but if you think of the olden days, those wooden chair, it has 4 legs, right? So those 4 legs are like the 4 quadrant, or you can think of like 4 tires of a car. If one is wobbly, one of the chair leg is wobbly, you'll be wobbly. You won't be able to sit properly, right? Same thing with life. If your one of the quadrant has, when I say 0 to 10, 10 being the highest, 0 being the lowest, if one of the quadrant has number 2 or number 1, you are screwed, my friend, because if you are not doing anything for fun, you are just showing up at your career, your relationship, at your even your health, you know, you will build up resentment. Trust me, I learned it the hard way. I was not doing anything for fun. So I was just giving from an empty cup. And when you do that, even though you are thinking you are giving, because you have the resentment, the other person will feel it. So it doesn't work in the long run. It ends with separation, divorce, and whatnot. And it's not only at home. The same type of relationship would show up at your work too. And that is why I emphasize so much on keeping your bucket full. Also, the important part is not waiting until your bucket gets to 0, right? You want to start filling it when it is at 3 or 4, because if you wait until it is 0, then you might be busy for a few weeks and you won't be able to fill your bucket. And then you will have that resentment towards yourself, towards others, and things like that. So finally, the health. So we talked about career, finally the health. The health part, like I was saying, physical health shows up in many ways. If you are a gym goer, you would go to gym, you would go for a walk, you would know. Or sometimes if you are like that you don't want to work out or anything like that, you would end up in the doctor's office. So you'll find out that physically something is wrong, and then you would, end up working that out. However, now if you let's say physical health is okay, the emotional health or mental health, whatever call it as, that is the part gets unchecked. Just like the fun quadrant, the emotional health, not many people check. So I would ask you to, when you put the 0 to 10 number on the health quadrant, put two separate numbers for physical health. Let's say it is 8, and for emotional health, let's say it is 2. Then average it out, right? Average out would be 5. So the reason is, if emotional health, sometimes it can go down to 0 if you are not. Sometimes you can grow it with pray, with reading self-help, or whatever that helps. Or gratitude practice. One of the best practices, gratitude practice, that increases your brain's capacity to keep looking at the positive, right? Keep looking at the positive. So I'll give you a very simple example, right? The same video or the picture, somebody would look at it, people who are positive, they would focus on this area, the coffee shop, nice. And somebody who has the tendency to focus on the negative, they would look at it this side, and they'd be like, oh, why did she make the video? It literally works that way. Trust me, I have done so much research, so I know what I'm talking about. then why does she have this, like, greenery on this? Why couldn't she have a better background all throughout? So it is as simple as that. How we train our mind is by doing those little things. And when our cup is empty, we are always looking on this side. When our cup is full, we are always looking at the good. It literally, and what we focus on is what our life becomes. You have heard that many times. What we focus on is how our life tends to become. So this 4 quadrant, it is as simple as it can be. Rich quadrant, I acronymed it rich because not necessarily rich with money, but your rich life is how fulfilling it is for you, right? Your inner peace and all of that. So R is the relationship, I is the ideal life. What ideal life looks like for you? For me, it is travel, coffee shops, etc. What is it for you? Write it down in the comment section. This will help you, because then you will do it more. And then C is the career and finance, and the last one is the health, which includes the physical health and emotional health. So again, the 4 quadrant might be a little bit challenging to follow on the videos, but if it is, check out the blog. I'm going to add the link in the description section. And also, if you have any question related to that, let me know. And this is really, really new, which is why I'm in the process of trademarking it. The triangle, mindfulness triangle that I covered in the video, and also this rich quadrant, because mindfulness triangle, I talk about the speaking. You want to speak from where you want your life to be, what you want to manifest it like. And the rich quadrant, the fun part, the ideal life, I call it fun because that's what brings in fun in your life. That is the part that in self-help industry it's missing, which is why I am in the process of trademarking them, and I live it every single day, my friends. So I know it really, really does work. You can see my videos from last year, 2024 to 2025. Now, I mean, all my friends, they're like, you are not even the same person. And that's the point, because your transformed version, if it still looks like, not looks like outside, but the inner part of you, because your close friends, they really know, right? If they see the same version of you that was before, then you are not transformed. So it's not just you, people around you, they will tell you if you really transformed. And this works every single day. I live by it, and I have seen that when I don't fill my cup, I really, really, I slip. It happened a few days ago, and then I kind of catch myself, and then I fill my bucket. Today, literally, I came here, was one of the reasons that I'm like, I need to fill my bucket. So whatever fills your bucket, do it, share it with your friends. And finally, 3 simple things I'm going to tell you, and then finish this video. The mindfulness, which I keep saying, mindfulness is noticing. Notice this coffee shop. Number 2 is appreciating. That's the gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful that I was able to come here in this coffee shop. And number 3 is sharing it with the community. So I'm sharing it with you here in the community. For you, you can share it with your friends. You can even write a comment here. That will help. That is what amplifies the experience. So you could just go to a coffee shop and do nothing, but you could go to a coffee shop, appreciate that experience, feel grateful about it, and share it with others. And that is what will amplify. And your rich quadrant, all the numbers will be close to 10. Trust me. Okay, with that, thank you. And if you like this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and please do consider to share it with others, because my goal is to live a dent of happiness in this world for the people who are quietly suffering, for the people after divorce. There is so much fear of judgment. So I am bringing this to the mainstream. I am bringing this to the mainstream for people to be able to talk openly, not only behind closed doors, because nobody deserves that, right? Nobody deserves that. People make mistake and things happen, but they don't have to stay stuck in the past. They can live a better future, right? So which is why I do this, because I really, really, really love this work, because I have seen it making a real difference in people's life, my own life and other people's life that I help. So you can make that change. You can help by sharing these videos to others, because you never know. When I was going through the journey, I still remember, I don't even remember the person's name. She was no one big or anything, but she had this little website where she talked about, I think they were in a Korea or somewhere. They're from here, but they're in a Korea or somewhere. She and her husband, they were going through divorce, and she wrote that on her website, and even that helped me. For you guys who are coming here for a long time, I have done a lot of different things, and my hard work uh, with that, I created this framework so that it becomes a smart work for you guys, so that it's faster. You don't have to do all this grueling long process and things like that. How can you get from the shame, guilt, all the way to peace, love, joy, and just keep growing? There is no end, my friend. There is no ceiling. I say that limit is only a word that exists in our mind. There is no limit. You can keep growing, keep going, and life can be so beautiful. So please do share, because people will see that a normal person, somebody who had this job loss, career loss in the same month, from there, if they could do this, they could live this happy life. They have this hope that they also can do that. I have seen this in real life. Some people who are already out there, and some people where the wounds are really fresh, they really get motivated by seeing those people. So you can make a difference. Please do consider to share. And I see that every week somebody's sharing. I don't know who they are, but YouTube shows in the report that a lot of people are sharing. So thank you to you guys, because you are really making a difference. And special thanks to the folks who are coming here for a very long time. I'm going to give you guys the shout out: David, Vimukti, Bobby, and few more folks. You guys have been coming here regularly, so a deep appreciation for all of you. And also to the new folks, I really love seeing your comments and everything. And my friend and soul sister Lourdes, she watches the videos, and her mom. Thank you to both of you too. Oh my God. Take care, guys. Okay, bye.